And we are live, or we should be. Let me see if I got all the audio. Yeah, I can hear
Right.
Chris sniffing. I can hear Oscar saying great. And this
Yay.
seems to also be going well. And the rest is off, which we should have. Welcome to our live viewers, which is probably going to be Edwin. Maybe Eric. I don't know. Eric's on holiday, and well, maybe he'll be watching too. Welcome to the show of the 10th of August, 2021. I'm doing this from the laptop again, just because we can, apparently. And again, next week will be a show from, at least in my part, from Switzerland. So hopefully that we can get something going there. Today's show is news of the week. Got a couple of things, at least one or two that I can show you, and maybe Oscar and Chris have something to bring to the table too. What we will start today is a weekly item on putting some other YouTube channel in the spotlight, just some channels that we think is worth watching. And we're going to try and link to those channels and let them know that we mentioned them, all in order to see if we can create a little bit more of a community. Also, it's just sometimes nice to be pointed to some channels that could be interesting. So that's another thing that we're gonna do. Then we've got an Airtag update, and Chris is gonna walk us through that. If we still have time, because normally we always spend hours doing the first three. But if we have time, we thought it would be nice to have a couple of shows talking about Train Simulator and how we do the development of Train Simulator. As most of the watchers probably know, both Chris and myself are doing like add-ons, third-party add-ons for a game named Train Simulator. And it's probably interesting to talk a little bit about how we got to that, and that there's a lot to talk about. We can fill literally weeks of shows with talking about that, which is probably not what we're gonna do. And if it's too much, please say stop. But we'll make a start, at least, of my humble beginnings in developing. And then maybe we have a memory of the week. Maybe we don't have a memory of the week. We'll see how that goes. So anyway, I didn't see any problems with sound or anything. I didn't hear anything from Edwin. Maybe he isn't watching, but we should be fine. Let's just start by getting something on here. Let me see if I can do that. It's also a YouTube channel, but it's actually about a Lego thing that I need
Lego
to put on.
Is this racing brick?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I think. Well, I'm sure that I got that link through Chris, and he. Let me see if I can. Yep, there we go. Okay, let's put that on here. Racing Brick is a YouTube channel that is now also spotlighted, but that's not the actual spotlighted channel that we're going to talk about. Maybe we'll do that for another week. Racing Brick has some nice videos on all types of things, but one of the things that I think we had some sound there coming through. This is, and I don't know if people can see that. Yes, people can see that. This is a new Lego kit, and I really like it. Chris sent the link. And it's a pickup truck.
Oh wow!
And it's so cool.
It's a generic pickup truck. So it's not branded Ford or GM or anything like that. It's just a generic American pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seemed like it was kind of an interesting little truck when I found it on this guy's channel.
Yeah.
If you watch his review, he's kind of funny because he talks about how all the accessories seem pointless because there's flower pots and watering cans and wreaths and milk churns, and he's like, maybe this is a thing in America, but for Europe, this is kind of weird having all these accessories. So he he kind of skips through that and then he builds the truck. But it was just an interesting looking truck. I'd never seen anything, I hadn't seen a Lego truck quite like that. So I thought it might be interesting. So I sent a link to Paul and he went, subscribed.
Subscribe. Obviously. Yeah, it looks really cool. I'm going to skip a little bit through his build process, but it looks really fun. On all the accessories, I think some people have probably seen the Fiat 500 that I bought a Chinese version of, and that had a lot of those things too. And obviously, on one hand it's nice. On the other hand, you don't know what to do with it, so you end up just putting that all in a box and leaving that somewhere else. But you can see the engine. That looks pretty nice. Yeah, it's pretty detailed. And it doesn't really matter that it's generic, because if you look at the real trucks, they're all sort of the same anyway. So.
Yeah, old style 1950s American pickup truck.
Really, really cool. Yeah, I haven't seen.
He has some interesting videos on his channel because he concentrates mostly on cars. So he has like the Bugatti Chiron, he has the Porsche GT3 RS. Mm-hmm. He has the other Porsche, which is the 911 Turbo and Targa, where you can build one or the other. Mm-hmm. So he does a lot of reviews. It seems like he's pretty well known to Lego corporate. He has a lot of involvement with them somehow, so he gets some interesting previews.
Yeah.
He did a really good preview or a really good review of the Ghostbusters, the new Ecto 1.
Oh, cool.
Which has now gone on my want list.
Yes, it has been on my want list for quite some time. So there's gonna be it needs to be bought somewhere. But this looks cool. This truck is really cool. Like an old Chevy style truck, like a Suburban or whatever it's called. It's got steering wheels. Yeah,
Very nice.
I like this.
It's real Lego.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's official Lego. The 10-90.
Yeah.
Okay.
And having seen how many American cars Oscar has behind him, I thought this might be something he'd like.
Yes,
for sure.
I think for sure that's something he would like.
Yeah.
Let me. You were talking about he has some affiliation with Lego probably, and that's why he gets so many kits. I also follow a German guy. It's called Held der Steine, and he has a little shop which sold Lego, but he also sells other, all legal, but other brick brands. And he was not always positive in his reviews of the real Lego stuff, because he's honest, and sometimes they're just not that good. Not all Lego sets are very good. So I'm just bringing up a video now where he is talking about this new
the Metros truck.
I don't know if it's a Mercedes.
The Mercedes Z-Tros.
But it's a Mercedes Z-Tros, yes, and he is talking about that. Let me see if I can bring that up.
Racing Brick has also done a review of this.
Yeah, and how does I haven't seen that, but how does Racing Brick how has Racing Brick reviewed it? Was it positive?
He likes it. He said it's a pretty good. He said it's a fun build and it's pretty functional when it's finished.
Yeah. Well, I think looking at what this Thomas, he's called Thomas Panke, and this guy. He went on about, first of all, it's 300 euros for that truck. That's a lot of money, he thinks.
That's really a lot of money.
Also, what he was going on about is that it doesn't, it climbs up 100% incline, which is like a major selling point. But it doesn't do anything else really, because the steering is really, really poor. The suspension is incredibly poor. The wheels are too small. That's probably because with the small wheels you can climb the incline. If you put on larger wheels, it doesn't have enough power anymore. And he says it's just unbelievably bad for that money, because there's nothing that you can do with it except for driving it up a straight incline. So it's not a trial truck.
So Racing Brick has done a separate video where he started to modify his one so that it is a proper trials truck.
Well,
Okay.
So he modifies the suspension and he modifies the gearboxes and some of the other stuff in the steering. So,
well then,
but he said the major complaint from most people is, you know, they all think this truck has the wrong dimensions. They said it looks like a wiener dog, like a sausage dog. You know, too long with wheels that are too small. So what Racing Brick did was he brought up the plan of the Mercedes Z-Tros truck from the Mercedes website, and this truck is actually not long enough.
No.
So the wheel-to-wheel distance is right, the cab height is right, but the trailer is too short. So he said, if anything, Lego have got it right. You know, so everyone complaining that it looks too long in the Lego set, it's, you know, it's very close to the real thing.
Yeah, it could be. Okay. I don't know the real thing, so that's probably true. Well, the things, the smaller wheels.
Do you know what I want to see in Lego? I want to see one of the Paris-Dakar rally trucks.
Yeah.
I want to see one of the Dutch DAF trucks or one of the Russian KAMAZ trucks in Lego.
We should probably build one. Yeah. Just do a mock of it and then start selling it through.
Yeah.
That would be so cool. I mean, with all the spare time we have, that should not be a problem.
I mean.
No.
Go and visit Jan de Roy and say that you want to build one of his trucks and see if he'll sponsor you.
Well, Jan is not alive anymore, I think, but
it's his son. Then.
His son, his son is. Yeah, we could probably get something going and then buy all the Lego and do that. Good idea. Or maybe we should look if somebody already thought of that. If there's a mock already,
that's bound to be, isn't there? I bet if you Google, I'm going to do that right now.
Yeah, just see
I bet someone's already done it.
Yeah, I don't know why.
If not, it would be indeed a very nice one.
Why am I lighting?
Lego Technic RC Tatra Dakar truck. It's actually an official Lego set.
Oh well.
Oh.
There's always that. I'm trying to figure out how my
No, that's a mock. That's not an official set. Okay. That's a mock.
Okay.
But they've done KAMAZ, they've done Tatra, they've done they've done Jan de Roy's truck, the really old one, the one that's now in the DAF Museum.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
Okay.
And how big?
Yeah. I'll try and bring it up if you point me to where I need to look, what I need to Google.
I've just sent you a link.
Yeah, that's that's always a bit.
Oh come on! And you must be using WhatsApp on your desk by now.
No. I try to separate that. So I'll just look for Lego.
Just Google Lego Paris-Dakar truck.
Paris-Dakar truck.
And then go to images.
Let's see if we can. Oh yeah, I can see stuff. Let me bring it up here. Okay.
So about one scroll down the page is Jan de Roy's old truck.
Oh yeah, I see it. Oh, this is a KAMAZ. It looks like Jan de Roy's truck, but it's a different one. Well, I see a lot of cool trucks anyway. I don't know if I can find the exact Jan de Roy truck. I'll just try and Google that. Duff.
So there's one guy who specializes in nothing but Lego trucks. Okay. It looks like.
Cool. This is it. This is it,
yeah.
Probably. See if I can bring it up.
Ooh. Is it Martin Hartwigsen.nl? He's done one of the Mammut Rally Sport trucks.
Oh, okay. Well, this is a Tributo, a Jan de Roy truck, whatever. See if I can bring it up. Yeah, this is the original one.
It's a professional show that we run here.
I don't know what happened, but something exploded here.
If you go back to the image search, I'll show you.
Because that's not. This is not helping. The image search. Okay.
So somewhere in the middle column of the images, there's a red and black Mammut Lego Technics truck. And the website is martin-hartwigsen.nl.
I'll just look for Martin.
HARTWIGSEN.
Hart. I don't know.
And he has some really nice Lego trucks that he's built. He's built mocks of them. He's prolific.
Okay, I can't find it. I'll try and the link later because this is not going to work like this.
Here, look at your phone.
Yeah, I don't have my phone. It's all the way on the other end of the table. But email it. That's easiest. Gmail. That's on my laptop. So if you email it, I'll probably bring it up within a couple of seconds.
Okay, it's in your email.
Okay, let me try and get that done. Okay.
See, we like to challenge you. Once you're live, it's always more fun to see you start panicking.
Well, I'm not the panicking. I'm all past that. I'm not at all panicking. Here we have Chris Martin Hartwigson. Yes. Oh, bloody hell! Cookie policy. Accept. Okay, here we have his site. Let me now bring you over towards it.
Yeah, if you scroll down a couple of pages, he has some really nice red and black rally trucks.
See if I can. Here's like an American truck.
Yeah, keep going.
Oh, here we have something.
Yeah, and then the next one below that is really cool.
This one's cool too. Oh, here we are. Yeah, that's a.
Yeah, this go down below this guy.
Yeah, this is.
Oh, wow.
This is unbelievably cool.
Yeah,
that is definitely going on the bucket list. This is really cool.
I don't know if he sells plans for the mocks or anything, but interesting website.
It is.
He builds a lot. He's prolific as a truck builder. That looks like he's all he specializes in.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's cool. Probably after the show, I'll try and find out if there's any way that he's got drawings for it or parts lists or whatever. Because this.
Ask him if he wants to come on the show next week.
That'll be cool.
Yeah,
that's a really good idea. Let's try and do that. Cool. Really cool.
Very nice.
Very, very nice. So anyway, so that's. I think I have some. I can't read it, obviously, because it's too small. Let's see if there's... Oh, Edwin. Sorry, you forgot the time. Anyway, he's on now, so we're...
Probably sleeping on his couch.
We're all good now, yeah.
So we've increased our view count by one.
Yeah.
And apparently we're alive, so that's a good thing. Okay, so
19 minutes in, it's good to know that we haven't been broadcasting completely nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, we did have. I think we had 12 views on the last show on YouTube.
Okay.
So that's okay.
And I'm not looking at the show, so it's not me. I'm not contributing to the view count.
No. Exactly. No, I do watch it because I need to know whether it's working or any good, but so I'm one of those, but then we still have 11.
I think I watch it every week 1,000 times because I think then we get somewhere.
Yes.
But it's every time
it doesn't count the 1,000.
That's not how YouTube works.
Like you use a bot to do that. Yeah. No, we should. Yeah. We well, I did one of the videos got a remark from a marketing company or whatever that said we can help you. With more viewers and everything, but that's not how we want to do it, obviously. But anyway, so okay.
So make something from Lego. So we should make something from Lego that he every time push the button refresh.
Oh yeah. Like
and then,
a good idea.
Yeah.
An automated thing.
We just want to organically grow from 2 viewers to 100,000 viewers automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
I'm sure that's a great plan.
Great plan. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to our next item, which is to shamelessly plug another one's YouTube channel. And the one I thought I'd start with, and maybe next week Chris can bring a channel in, and the week after Oscar can bring a channel in, is Adam Savage's Tested. And the reason why I like that channel is for many reasons. If we go through some of the videos here, you can see what it's all about. Obviously, Adam is one of the Mythbusters, and since they stopped doing that, he did some other things. But during COVID, he started really putting out videos from his workshop. He's got a workshop in LA where he lives, and he builds all kinds of stuff. He does milling, and he does turning metal, and he builds all kinds of stuff. So that's really fun to watch, just see him creating things. And he's got so many stories. He is just telling about the process. He makes the same mistakes as we all do. You know, he measures something 3 times and then he cuts it from the wrong side, so it still doesn't fit, you know. All this stuff that we've all been, at least I have been to that a lot of times. And he makes that same mistakes, but he doesn't really care about it. He goes on and fixes it. But also,
he has a great series of videos on here about his love for the Blade Runner guns.
Yeah.
And his search to try and build the perfect replica of the original Blade Runner gun, which he's now done.
Yeah, exactly.
And he tracked down all of the original parts that we used to make the original gun, and then went and bought those parts or sourced them and used them to build his gun. And he has like 6 or 8 different versions of the gun from different prop houses and replicas that he uses to compare and review. Yeah. But he's very watchable. I could just watch his videos all day.
It's therapeutic for me. I can really wind down and be totally engaged in his whatever he does. It doesn't really matter, because it's always interesting to me.
And he does Lego videos.
He does Lego. He builds stuff. He likes Star Wars, Blade Runner movies. He likes movie props. And he builds movie props. Right now they are doing an auction of all the stuff that was on the Mythbusters show, like tour. They had a tour where they put all kinds of Mythbusters props that you could see live, and that tour has stopped because of COVID. And now they're auctioning off all these things, and he is showing these things. There are things about the shark, the Robo Shark they built. And he goes to that and he tells the story about how it came. He also tells a lot of stories about Mythbusters, how it was when they filmed stuff, what was the scariest thing, what was the process of doing things. And it's so insightful to hear him talk about all these things and about Jamie and all that. So I can really recommend to like-minded people, and I think if you're watching the show, you might be, just interesting stuff. And 99% of the stuff he's doing is well, I would say 100% of the stuff he's doing is really interesting to me too. He did a repro of the crown of the English king, and he looked for all kinds of stuff to build that, and the process that he's doing is so cool. So anyway, I thought this was just worth letting anybody know that you should probably subscribe. There's also a paid subscription, and I've thought about doing that because I watch him so much and I like to sort of support him. So I might even be doing that later on. And then there's also, if you are like a member of the site, then you can ask him questions, and he just comes on and answers those questions live. And that's really cool too, obviously. So,
so he's also written a really good book, and the book talks a lot about the history of Mythbusters, and it talks about things that he's learned when he's building, and it talks about how he learned a lot of his stuff and who taught him and how much stuff he taught himself. And he talks about some of the big projects, and of course, there's a lot of stuff about Mythbusters in there. But the book is really good; it's well worth reading. So
that's good.
My lovely wife, hopefully, has some merchandise that I bought from Adam Savage.
Oh, cool!
So
hi, Paula.
Hi.
So that's Adam Savage merchandise.
Okay, cool.
One day builds.
Wow.
So my camera's decided it wants to follow me, but
Yeah.
So
oh yeah. One day builds. Yeah. Yeah, his
One-day
his
builds.
the cool thing is his 1-day builds take about 4 days normally.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what the T-shirt says. 1-day builds always
Oh
take
yeah,
longer than a day.
I didn't read that. Yeah, but it's true. Yeah. But you know what the cool thing is, and I really learned from that. If you just start doing it as a 1-day build, it doesn't matter if it takes 4 days, because it's just you've started doing it, and it's fine once you're in it, you know. And whether it's then 2 or 3 days or whatever, that doesn't really matter. And it's actually insightful to just go do it and then see where what happens. So So yeah. Anyway,
but his channel is great. I mean, he has so many different things that he does. Like in the middle of COVID, there was a time when he was sorting all of his Lego.
Yeah.
And his mum was staying with him, and his mum was sorting his Lego for him. And like in 3 or 4 of the videos that he did for other things like prop replicas and glue guns and things like that, in the background of all those videos, his mum is there sorting his millions of Lego bricks all the time.
Yeah. He seems like such a nice guy. I would love to spend time with him, you know, and I think he would be okay with that too. It's just that he can't do that with 10 million people, but it's just, you know, I think that most people would really love being with him just because he's so honest, straightforward. He has so many stories and anecdotes, which are all interesting.
Well, there's an anecdote to go with that anecdote, which is if COVID allows, we'll be coming to Holland in 3 weeks' time, which means we are not going to be able to go to the Comic-Con in Salt Lake City, and Adam Savage is going to be at the Comic-Con in Salt Lake City.
Oh, that's a bummer.
So if our trip gets cancelled,
then at least
I will go and meet Adam Savage, get a photograph, and we can use it on the show.
Of course, you should shamelessly plug our channel then.
You need to send me some merch. You need to send me a sticker.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I've been thinking about is that, One of the things I've been thinking about is that what he sometimes does, and we're probably not in a position to do it, but anyway, some people send him things for him to use in his workshop. So they send him a special kind of saw or some other tool, and he really likes to. Probably he gets so much now that it's not going to be in the show again.
Yeah, he must have a whole team that goes through.
So it's going to be really, you know, one of these things if it's going to be on the show. But when he just started, you had a chance that if you just sent him something nice, that he would just spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever talking about that and saying how great it is. And if you find something that might be of interest, and just send that to him.
Anything to do with spacesuits. He loves spacesuits.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cool. Anyway, Adam Savage, really nice guy.
Yeah.
At least as far as I can tell from seeing him on television and YouTube, and it's definitely a channel that you need to follow. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very cool. So do we know what happened with the other guy or
Jamie?
Yeah.
Jamie. Yeah. He was sort of involved when they did Mythbusters Junior, but not really. And I think he's just basically carried on doing what he was doing. I think he didn't really like all the publicity in the end.
I'm not sure what happened because they should probably be. Oh, my light is off. The problem. I don't know what happened, but there was something. Maybe even some sort of nervous breakdown or whatever, because something happened and it just came to a grinding halt. And that was not because Adam wanted to stop it, but because Jamie didn't want it anymore. And it probably, as you said, Chris, had to do with the fact that he didn't like the whole, you know, the way it blew up, and he just was fed up with it. At least that's...
It always seemed like it wasn't his personality. It seemed like he was happy to just work on his own.
Yes. But
I think it just became so popular in the end. He was like, "This is too much for me."
But the strange thing is that the fact that he was like that just added to the show. I think the personality of Jamie was really something that was so cool to have next to Adam's personality. So I think it
Well,
made it work. But he didn't probably
I
like it.
love the way I love the way they made mistakes on the show all the time like that. So
Yeah.
I mean, they used to build those Perspex bulletproof shields so that when they were doing tests, they'd all stand behind the safety shields.
Yeah.
And then, like in season 3, they did an actual test with like a 50 caliber round or something, and fired it at one of those shields, and it went straight through it. And they went. So what you're telling us is, for the last 3 seasons, we've really not been safe at all when we've been building these things and standing behind them.
It's true.
You know, and Jamie was like, "Oh, we told you it wasn't going to stop a bullet."
I also like when Adam impersonates Jamie. That's so cool too. Anyway, so something happened there, and they stopped doing it, and then Grant Imahara passed away, but that was after they stopped the show, so that was pretty bad too. And I don't know, they just stopped doing it. But there's so, I mean, they've on the other hand, you could say maybe it was enough. You know, they have done so many great shows, and it's better to stop at that high than to just go on, and maybe then say, well, in the end, it wasn't that good.
I mean, it seemed like in the end they were just trying to invent things to bust. You know, it's like, no, this isn't really Mythbusters anymore. You're just doing this to try and keep the show going.
They invented myths to bust. Anyway, it was a great show. Still is. Sometimes you see on YouTube little parts of what they were doing. The one where they imploded the railway wagon. You know, the tank wagon, you know, things like that. You know, you can't think of that. It's so cool, and some other things they did. And he sometimes talks about it on the show too. Anyway, let's try and move on to the next subject, which is the Airtag update. So I think we're going to try and share your screen. So let's see if we can...
I will try and share my screen.
Technically get that done. Because it should be you should be able to share your screen via Skype, and then I should see your
share screen, and we'll do that.
I'm gonna go for it. We can see Google Earth now. We can't see you, but that's
okay. That's because I'm screen sharing.
Huge problem. I will delete that. Let's see if the sound comes through, because that might be a problem too. I'm talking, that's fine. And if you talk, Chris, you're talking too. I think we have done it.
Save that as a preset.
No, I can't. That's the whole thing, because I'm not going to go into that. It's just grabbing an area of my screen live now. So if I move the window, the whole thing will move out. I couldn't grab the window itself. So anyway, try and do your thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so 10 to 15 minutes after we started this, here's the update on the Airtag. So, we know it started in Perth, and when we left last week, it was sitting in Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
So, it sat in Sydney for a couple of days at the Qantas Freight International Terminal, and then, let's see, what day was it? I'm going to say probably Wednesday. Yeah, so Wednesday it arrived at the Qantas Freight Terminal, and then Saturday it moved and it appeared on the ramp at the area here. And there were 2 flights that were leaving from Sydney to go to Japan. One was going to Narita and one was going to Haneda.
Mm-hmm.
And the one to Haneda was leaving from this side of the terminal here. And this isn't where I got the hit from. I got the hit from this side, but the Narita flight left from this terminal on the right.
Okay.
So I think what happened was, as the plane was being pushed back, someone on the ramp here got close enough that they pinged it, and that's when it showed it.
Yeah.
So I looked up on Flight Radar, and the flight was QF21, which is Qantas. And the flight was 6 or 7 hours, something like that. I can't remember. And sure enough, everything went dark for 6 or 7 hours. And I wasn't entirely sure if it was on the flight to Haneda or the flight to Narita. So the Haneda flight got in first, and I didn't get any response from that. So I thought, okay, it must have gone to Narita. I watched the Narita flight land, and about 20 minutes after it landed in Narita, I got a hit from the International Air Cargo Terminal.
Cool.
So the flight itself landed at this gate on the end here.
Yeah.
And I didn't get anything there, but after it was taken out of the container and taken to the cargo terminal, I got a hit right there on the same day. So that was on Saturday. On Sunday, it had moved over here to the Kawasaki Higashi post office. I know from my friend in Japan, this is where they do all of their international clearance. This is like their customs office. So things from the airport always come through here. From there, on Monday, I got a hit over here, and this is the Tokyo Hoboku post office, which is local to where he lives. And that was, let's see, that was Monday morning, my time.
Okay.
About 4 hours later, I got a hit from the Chofu post office, which is down here in midday. And then in the evening, sort of about 7 hours after that, I started to get lots and lots of hits all around here. So I was WhatsApping with him at the same time, and he said, that'll be coming in the 11 o'clock delivery. It will be coming on a moped.
Okay.
He said those deliveries will be coming on a moped, on a Brawler. So I got a hit around here. I got a bunch of hits around here as it was moving around the area. And then I'm not going to put the guy's address on here because I don't want everyone showing up at his house. But as it went off this corner of the map here, it appeared in the area where he lives. And when it appeared in the area where he lives, let me just bring this up. He sent me this photo, which is the Japan Mail Post guy, and the package in his hand here is the package from Australia.
Oh, that's so cool.
And he walked across the road and gave it to my friend. And when I looked at the final position, I was able to see exactly in Street View where this was. I could find this post box here. I could find this wall here. And it matched perfectly. So like almost to the meter level tracking.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's been delivered. It's now in Tokyo. He's done a little video for us, so I'll edit that into the big production later. He's going to go and take a couple of photos around Japan with it so that we know it's not just on a set. And then he's going to send it to me, and we'll start tracking it again.
Cool.
So,
that is
Very cool.
So far,
it's gone.
this is the journey it's taken. So it's gone from Salt Lake to LA to New York to Amsterdam, down to Rotterdam, to Doha, to Perth, to Sydney, and now to Tokyo.
It's
I'm willing to bet this is the furthest anyone has tracked an Airtag so far. So,
the next thing is we give it to Richard Branson on his space flight.
Yes.
That's cool. And it was fast because that was a bit more than a week, or about a week that it took from Australia to...
So it left on Thursday, July the 29th, and it was delivered on Monday, August the 9th. So it was just over a week.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And most of that time, it was sitting in Sydney. So it spent 4 days at the cargo terminal in Sydney.
Yeah, they're just not very fast.
Once it left Sydney, it was about 24 hours from leaving Sydney to being delivered in Tokyo. So...
Wow.
Yeah, so there you go. That's the journey of our AirTag so far.
Cool.
Once it gets back to me, I'm going to get all the videos and photos from the people that have had it, including you, Paul, and I'm going to put together I'm going to say well-edited production, but I'm going to put together an edited production.
That's so cool.
I think we should put that on the channel as like the half-hour special or something.
Oh, definitely. The AirTag special or whatever. That would be so cool if you could do that. And if you need anything more from me, let me know. Okay, there we are.
So I've stopped sharing, so I've probably screwed up your OBS
the
again.
thing is, it was screwed up, but because Oscar's window was really small and everything was was not good. And now, since you're back from your screen to your camera, everything popped in the right position again. So we're fine.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So just so that our thousands of viewers know, next time we're going to do a screen share, we'll practice before the show so that
Yeah.
you don't have to endure 11 minutes of us all just panicking.
I'm not gonna go
Yeah.
into that, but that's gonna be pretty impossible to practice this because of the reasons I just said. I need to. It's difficult.
I mean,
the
we'll come up with
Yeah, but there should
we'll
be
come up
a
with a better way
way
of
to
me
do this.
transmitting from this end. I'll go through OBS so that you only have one thing to
we
deal
need
with.
exactly something like this. We need or an extra Skype call with the screen or whatever.
You know what we should do? I should come to Holland.
Do it there.
Just coincidentally, in 3 weeks'
Yeah.
time, I'll be in
Yeah.
Holland.
Exactly, and do it there. Yeah. No, we need to find another way of doing the screen share. That's for sure. On the other hand, it was entertaining probably for a lot of people hearing us trying to figure out the whole problem, and it might be a problem.
I imagine a lot of people were just hitting fast forward until they saw a map of the
Exactly.
world.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm gonna edit it out in the live version later tomorrow or something. But anyway, it's been a roller coaster.
Yeah. Maybe there's a YouTube channel about OBS.
Oh, there is. There.
Very
Oh,
good
yeah.
one.
We should probably watch.
There is a lot of info about OBS, and none of it is exactly what I want to do. So
But we don't want to suddenly become too professional.
no,
I mean,
it would ruin the show.
yeah. I mean, there's a
It gives
certain
you-
amount of
gives you
charm to us
time.
not knowing what we're
No,
doing.
exactly.
I mean, I think there is. I think there's some charm in us not knowing
Exactly.
what we're doing.
I think that's the whole. That's the power that drives the whole thing. That we're
So we're the Top Gear of YouTube at the moment. We're
Yes.
three middle-aged men trying to figure out
Yes,
YouTube.
Exactly. Exactly. I saw talking about Top Gear. I'm not gonna. I mean, we've got 10 minutes left, and I'm not gonna go into the train simulator thing. So what I was
We can do that.
we're gonna do that later. What I was thinking about is that I just saw the last season of the Grand Tour, and
Lockdown.
lockdown. I didn't. Lockdown wasn't. It was okay, but it wasn't the best ones. The other ones of that season were probably a bit better to my taste. But I watched it together with Michelle, and because she didn't like Top Gear because of cars, And then I said, yeah, but Top Gear is not completely cars, it's different stuff too. And then she saw Clarkson's Farm. And she said, "Oh, I really like that show." I said, "Well, it's sort of like what happens in Top Gear or their specials at least." So she started watching the specials too, and now she really likes that too because it just
Excellent. A Top Gear convert.
yeah,
always a
that's good,
thing.
isn't it? And it's so cool. And I haven't seen all of their shows. I still need to go back a couple of seasons, even when they were on Top Gear and they did their specials. But I liked the one where they were in Colombia, which was pretty cool with their photography stuff, and also the one where they went to Reunion, the island, and that was so cool too. And just the adventures and the dangers they've got a whole team there, obviously, and it looks different than it is, but still, they are out there doing quite dangerous stuff, I think, just.
I mean, as evidenced by the number of times he's crashed and injured himself and ended up in hospital.
Definitely.
And that's now a running joke with Hammond is if he reaches the finish line and he's the right way up, that's a victory.
It's cool, but
this reminds me, I now have a memory of the week to do with this.
Cool.
Well, it's not to do with Top Gear, but it reminded me while we were talking about Top Gear of something that I think you guys will appreciate.
Okay.
Te land te zijn in de lucht.
Ja, te land te zijn in de lucht.
Oh,
wow.
Back in the 80s and 90s when they used to do all those shows.
Yeah.
Long before Red Bull came in and started doing Red Bull rally racing and Red Bull Flugtag and things like that.
Yes.
Te land te zijn in de lucht. I used to love that show.
Yeah.
That's exactly the sort of thing that the three of us would have entered.
Yeah.
Just because it was so silly. So for anybody who's watching this who's not lived in Holland in the 90s, it was a show where they would have every week they would do one of three themes. The first theme was they would have like a very narrow plank across a canal where you had to cycle across it or you had to get a contraption across it. and then they had one where you had to fly a certain distance into the canal and ring a bell. And then they had one where you had to sail a certain amount of distance into the canal and ring a bell.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, the flying things didn't fly, the floating things didn't float, and the driving things didn't really drive on a plank that was this high.
Yeah, that's it's. I know. I was trying to.
They must have episodes on
I know,
YouTube somewhere.
and I was trying to. I was
yeah.
trying to bring them
Sure.
up, but on top of all the other stuff, now my mouse isn't working anymore. So I don't know.
Good. So
Exactly.
So we're now infinitely live because you can't ever cancel
Exactly.
the stream.
We will be live forever.
Yeah. Just unplug the battery.
You know
and
what
then,
does happen is
Yeah.
I can't see my mouse pointer, but I can't see if it highlights something. So if I just try and move from one piece to the other,
So you're trying to find. You're trying to play Find the Mouse.
trying to play Find the Mouse. Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's not it.
But I actually think it was a bit older even. Was it not the late 70s and 80s that
It might
the
have
show
been.
was
It
on?
might have been. Yeah, I think it finished in like
Could well be.
85, 86 maybe.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was a great
it
show.
was.
And yeah, definitely. And was not also there was a special also on the Zandvoort circuit, I think.
Ja, achteruitrijden.
When they were driving the sorry?
Ja, achteruitrij race.
Yeah.
Achteruitrijden, yeah.
That they had with the DAF variomatic cars who can drive as fast backwards than forwards.
And then André van Duin was commenting that, and he was saying, "Mijn gras, mijn gras." I have regained.
Yeah, so I just thought of that when we were talking about Top Gear, three middle-aged men messing around in cars. I thought, oh, you know what used to be fun with people just embarrassing themselves on TV?
Yeah.
You know, so talent to say in de lucht.
I'm gonna.
If you find a link to it, put it in the title or in the description after the show.
I definitely will. And I have now got something that I can show you. If I can just bring that up shortly.
I'm just looking at Oscar's pretty face. I can't see anything other than him.
I don't know why. Anyway, let's see if I can bring this up and then go into Chrome, because everything stopped working, and apparently it's still.
I think what we've decided is you shouldn't be trying to use OBS on a very small screen.
Well, that's the first problem that we've got, and the other problem is that OBS is just infinitely unstable, and it just messes up the computer a lot, because now trying to grab a Chrome window doesn't even work anymore. So
we just as an administrative note, we should probably not ask anybody to do with OBS to come on the show.
No, probably. Let's see if I can still get this Chrome thing working. Yep, I have it now, and I will try and move it over. So here we have a little bit of live. It was one of the Ter Land, Ter Zee en in de Lucht shows. And this was called Achteruitrijden. And it was just a bunch of cars on Zandvoort. Or they started at Zandvoort and they ended up at Valkenswaard, I think. But this might still be Zandvoort. And they were just doing a race, but in reverse. And the interesting thing is that you see a lot of DAFs here. And that's because they had the variomatic and they could go as fast in reverse as they could forward. There was just no, because the variomatic worked the same way going in reverse, so it would infinitely go faster. And that's why they probably used all the DAFs that were still left. And
1979.
This is 79, yeah. And it's so cool, and they just wrecked everything. And
these guys were doing Top Gear caravan racing long before Top Gear.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, on that bombshell,
Yeah, on that bombshell. Yeah.
We should probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like the show was still going as far as 2012. There's a couple of really new videos, but
Okay, I would.
maybe it's still on the air. But I just remember the really old
I
ones.
think they stopped doing well now with all
Yeah.
the environmental issues. They probably can't do it anymore. But
That's
if you see the quality of the video and the superimposed text on it, it's just like really, really old stuff.
Yeah.
But it's
square, not widescreen.
yeah, it's 4x3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was excellent,
Excellent.
wasn't it? Okay, so you made it to the end of the show, not without problems. But
So the live show is an hour. Once you've edited it down, this will be about.
it's going to be
48
a little
minutes.
bit less, and maybe it's entertaining enough to leave it in. But I'll see what we can do,
So that might be a long haul for people trying to watch. There'll be a lot of skip forwards.
which is fine too. Let's just see how that goes.
Oscar's gradually getting darker and darker and darker.
I can see that too.
Like the only light source is his monitor
I had
now.
the same problem. My really cool but not at all working LED light, which you can't charge while it's on, just decided to go off. And now there's a very small one that's still working on batteries, so I have some light. But apparently Oscar has lost the light source, so it doesn't matter, does it?
No.
Okay, guys.
All right.
Okay.
Well, so we're going to try and do this with you guys live in Switzerland, are we, next week?
Yes, we're definitely gonna do that.
This will be exciting.
It will be exciting as long as we don't have any screen shares from your side. It will all be fine, I think.
All right. Administration note, no screen shares.
No screen shares. And then we'll. It depends, whether Wi-Fi works or how that works. I think they've got cabled internet too, which might help. So let's see. Anyway, next week.
Excellent.
Bring a cable with you.
Yeah, I will.
Yes.
I definitely bring a cable and all the stuff that I think I'll need. So thanks for watching and bearing with us. And we will hopefully see you all again next week.
Yes. Bye.